So let me tell you about my Mean Girls musical story. So this is not a review because it was a long time ago. All I remember is that it was amazing. Like legit amazing. And at some points when the different cast members opened their mouths to sing, I was just stunned. I will say that I feel like it's this generation's Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was so cool. People came dressed up. People shouted out lines in the middle of the show. It was just such a fun experience. So this is why I want to talk about how it was just very special to me. It was in October, and October is generally a hard month for me because it's the month that my great-grandmother passed away from cancer, and it's also the month that my father passed away from cancer. And he was only 50. And it was in 2015 when my father passed. And so this was going to be the second year anniversary. I hate saying anniversary because anniversary sounds like something you celebrate. Of his passing and his funeral. And it was also the year, not 2015, but the year the Mean Girls musical came out. It's also the year that I was turning 30. And so I got these new best friends. I do not have a lisp, I meant that. And they indulged me. And I learned that friend love is true love. So I said for my 30th, I wanted to go to the Mean Girls musical in DC. And it was actually on the 31st, which was the same day of my dad's funeral. And it was perfect. I try to do something positive and happy on those days. To, one, distract yourself, but two, change the negative attachment that I have to those dates so I don't keep getting as low as I could, right? And I couldn't think of like a more uplifting, positive way to spend that day with my best friends and enjoying a musical comedy. It was our first friendship. I said friendship. It was our first friend trip out of town together. So it was our first time leaving the state together, which was a big thing. I drove. We got an Airbnb, and we went out the night before to like this pop-up bar, and we had tacos the first day that we got there. And so here's the thing. The day of the musical, right? We went to the Smithsonian, and then we went home, we got dressed, and it was a real missed opportunity not having the opening night on Wednesday. It was Tuesday, and we really wanted to wear pink, but we know how to follow rules, so we didn't, unlike some people. And so we all got ready and went to the show, and they were all like, hey, we're hungry, we're gonna walk over to this taco place. And I was like, no. And I don't really say no to food much, but I was just so anxious and I didn't want to miss anything, and I was so afraid, like, what if there's a line and then we have to wait for a really long time, and then we don't get the tacos, and then I'm gonna miss the beginning of the show. So I didn't go. They all went to go get tacos, and I perused the lobby. I walked around the lobby, I bought myself memorabilia, and then I went and I sat in the seat by myself. And they joined me just in time. And this is I'm going to show you, this is the thing that I got. I got this mug because obviously I'm an addict, right? There was no question on what I was going to get when I went over to the merchandise. And right after the show, we met some of the amazing actors, and we were standing outside. And while I guess in my excitement, I dropped the mug. I dropped it on the sidewalk, and the theater closed, so I couldn't go back in to say, "Oh my God," right? Not that I don't know that they would be able to do anything, because legit, I purchased this and then I dropped it. So you break it, you buy it, right? If anything, I could have bought another mug. But so my friends all wanted to go out after the show, except for one of them, and me and her went back to the house and watched the movie. And I sat there and made a pizza, and I sat there and glued my mug back together. Yeah. And unfortunately, I can't drink coffee out of it, but it's a nice addition to the mantelpiece. Also, Mean Girls musical is missing a merchandising opportunity. Should definitely sell friendship bracelets that say, like, I don't know, plastics or beware the pink, or just plastic. And then they will be like, your bracelet says plastic? What does that mean? I was like, well, if you don't understand it, you can't sit with us.